Ambiguity at work. It's tough, right? Having more questions and answers, constantly wondering, why is there not more information or clearer information being made available to you and your coworkers? And so many competing priorities. How do you deal with all of that? Well, my work sits at the intersection of change and emotion in the workplace. And that's the same intersection where ambiguity likes to thrive. And by the end of this video, you're going to be armed with 3 instantly applicable tips you can begin employing to help you better navigate ambiguity in your work. Let's get it. In this video, I'm going to first break down the definition of ambiguity as it relates to the workplace. And then we'll dive into those 3 tips that you can begin employing today to help you better navigate this really frustrated environment. Let's start by getting grounded in the definition of ambiguity, and again, through the lens of the workplace. An ambiguous work environment is one in which much is left up to interpretation, where you often find yourself confused because directives are being made and there's more than one way to make sense of it or understand it, especially what's being asked of you and your team. Ultimately, there's a lack of clarity in what's expected of you, why the business is moving in the direction that it's moving in, who is leading what, really the list goes on and on. This type of work environment is one that's prone to inspire frustration, anger, fear, or even apathy, just wanting to be checked out. So let's talk through 3 tips to help you deal with ambiguity in your workplace. Tip number 1, acknowledge it. When you find something ambiguous and you're not able to make sense of exactly what's being asked of you or your team, raise awareness to it. Communicate out, I know that you've given this directive. I know that there's something that's being asked of me, but I'm not exactly clear what it is exactly that's required of me and my team. State specifically where you're finding ambiguity or where you're lacking clarity. Then, of course, request if clarity can be granted. Now, given the times today, how things are just moving at a really, really fast pace, there are certainly going to be times when leaders won't be able to clarify those areas that you're asking for. And that's when the second tip really comes in handy. The second tip is to communicate your assumptions before you act. When your work environment is really ambiguous, and even though you've asked clarity and raised awareness to things not really having a lot of clarity, assumptions are imperative. Make sure that you're communicating to your leader and to the organization your understanding of what's being asked of you and all of the assumptions that you have baked within that understanding, and then act accordingly. This is a really great way to make sure your bases are covered, such that if questions are raised maybe weeks or months down the road and people are wondering, why did you take this action? Why did you do this? You can state, well, at the time, here's what I understood. Here's what we knew, and here were the assumptions that I made. And that's what drove those actions. As I'm talking about understanding and relaying the assumptions that you're making before you're acting, it reminds me of the importance of nurturing trust, not only for you to nurture trust with your teammates, but also for managers to nurture trust within their employees, especially when times are a bit ambiguous. So be sure to check out a couple of my other videos on this channel, all centered around the importance of nurturing trust, especially when things are a bit ambiguous and uncertain. By the way, side note, you digging this? Value, excitement, interest? Make sure you click subscribe. I do videos like this all the time, striving to deliver you value for free. So please click subscribe so you'll be one of the first to get notified when a video drops. All right, let's get back into it. The third and final tip is to adapt to new information. So after you've made that initial round of assumptions based on the directive that you've been given, and then you start working through doing what's expected of you, or at least what you assume is expected of you, as new information is made available either by your direct manager or other managers, make sure that you're revisiting those assumptions, understanding what needs to change, what can get deleted or what still needs to exist as you move forward. And again, this invites that consistent and frequent communication with your manager, those that are setting the priorities and actually giving you those directives. Double check your assumptions as you're working through the work plan. And if something needs to change, make sure you're adapting and doing so. So as you think about ambiguity, a lot of that is inspired when going through change. And so I want to give something else for you to support you as you move forward. And that's a free chapter of my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm: How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. This is all around a growth mindset that I've coined Change Enthusiasm that can help you to reach growth and evolve and learn even when you're working in a highly ambiguous environment. And that chapter is yours today for free. All you got to do is click on the link below. I want to make sure you have the data, the research, the insights to empower and enable your growth through even your greatest, most ambiguous change challenges. I'm Cassandra Worthy, and until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.